First, all of us in here, young brothers and sisters, we are all students. I'm a student, and I'm not quite as young as you, but every day I study, because there's too much that God has put out here to learn for me to think that because I'm an elder that my days of study are over. If it is God's will, I will die pursuing knowledge. That is what sets you apart from the lower forms of life, is that the human has the ability to acquire knowledge and to act on the principle of that knowledge to secure benefit for himself, his family, and others. Now, executive decision. That's a judgment made at the highest level. And it is concerning a person or groups of people or a branch of government empowered and required to administer law or policy. Now, if Pharaoh yesterday said, "Come, let's deal wisely with them," and America today has said the same, let's deal wisely with these blacks, because they are multiplying and becoming a problem for us. So an executive decision has been made. Now I'm going to open up the decisions. From the highest level of the U.S. government to destroy you, black men in particular, black people in general. Now I have to submit to any preachers that are present. This is the kind of message that you have to give to our people, that they may be aware of what's happening so that we can escape the wicked plans of our enemies. And that is why you see on churches, Jesus saves. But if you don't get the knowledge, ain't no way that anybody can save this people without transferring necessary, requisite knowledge. An executive decision. Now, let's take a brief look at what's happening to our young men. And you know, it must be very troubling to young women that understand that in order for them to be happy and fulfilled as a woman, there has to be a man in your life. Well, today they're trying to alter the natural course of things by putting another woman in your life. But if we follow the natural way of God, a man should be put into your life that will complement what God has given to you to give to him, and what God has put within him to give to you. But there's an article that I want to quote from that says there's no longer a need for dire predictions, hand-wringing, or apprehension about losing a generation of black boys. It's too late. We've already lost 2 generations of young black men since the 60s, since the death of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the departure of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have lost 2 generations, and we're about to lose the 3rd. Now, you young men, you are different than your parents. There's no question. And there's a great fear of what they see in you. It says, in education, in employment, in economics, in incarceration, in health and housing and parenting, we've lost 2 generations of young black men. The question that remains is, will we lose the next 2 or 3 generations, or possibly every generation of black boys hereafter, to the streets, to negative media, to what is called gangs, to drugs, to poor education, to unemployment, to father absence, to crime, violence, and death? I submit to the writer of such an article, it won't get to 3 more generations, because the intent is to kill us all off within this century. Now, I'm going to prove my point. And the reason I'm going where I'm going, and I'm bringing the government of the United States to the witness stand, is that if you see what a powerful United States government, with the wise of this government, is doing to kill off an entire people, then you got to know that if we make it, it'll be God that saves us and gets us through this, because none of our leaders are capable. None of them. Now, check out these statistics. Most young black men in the United States don't graduate from high school. Only 35% of black male students graduated from high school in Chicago, and only 26% graduated in New York City, according to a 2006 report by the Schott Foundation for Public Education. Only a few black young men finish high school, and only a few who finish high school actually attend college. And of those few black boys who enter college, nationally, only 22% of them finish college. Now, what does that say for you young sisters that are going to college, getting an education, when the black male, who is your natural counterpart, has nothing to do with high school or college, which means he has no job, which means then he's being herded into a life of crime or the armed forces? In either case, you have no security in a young black man if this trend continues. Young black male students have the worst grades, the lowest test scores, the highest dropout rates of all students in the country. When these young black men don't succeed in school, they're much more likely to succeed